so sure enough, last night we're all minding our business. It's a lazy summer night, right? We're looking for things to watch on television unless we're going to Love Island watch parties and slide her in like Devin.
damn right.
And so we're all just cooling. I'm actually watching YouTube, and sure enough, the night gets ruined. I'm like, why? Why? It's July 1st.
Which can only mean one thing. Grizzlies PR. Here it comes.
The Undertaker.
Get the alert on my phone. I'm like, oh, ain't no way. No way. Y'all shouldn't be tweeting out anything on July 1st. There is nothing to tweet out unless possibly a Summer League roster. That's all you're allowed to tweet out. On July 1st, you are only allowed to either welcome Ty Jerome, congratulate Cam Spencer.
Yeah. Happy birthday for somebody.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Or a Summer League roster.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No. Dun, dun, dun. Jaren Jackson Jr. was playing basketball and bust his toe. Okay. So he's got turf toe. Happens. Heard about it a lot. Desmond Bain played like a whole year with it, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
DG had turf toe last year, didn't he?
But then, Darius Garland.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no. This isn't just any old turf toe. You got to remember, Jaren Jackson Jr. has very long digits. And so, when his toe gets turf toe, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, we've got little nub.
Yeah.
We got little nubs.
He was like a size.
It'd be hard to even strain them, honestly. My toes would be hard to strain. They're small. I got yeah. So, but if he does his, now we got a problem on our hands. Jaren Jackson Jr. Spraining his toe is the equivalent of Roser breaking his arm. They're about the same length. So, anyways, or a finger. We'll say a finger. I wonder, if we were having a contest of Roser's fingers or Jaren Jackson Jr.'s toes, which are longer, I think I've got Jaren's toes.
Yeah, Jaren's toes are absolutely longer than my fingers.
To that point, here is Jaren Jackson Jr.'s shoe, just for a reference.
If you need a reference.
Throw it to me. Just so you can see. You guys know how fat my head is, right? Here's what it would look like if Jaren Jackson Jr. kicked me in the face.
His entire shoe would cover his face.
Yeah, it's tough.
The sweet chin music to Verno's face would not do well, bro.
All right. So you'd say your toe starts about here, right?
Yeah. It's a big
So
shoe, man.
he bust his toe. Look at this thing. What is?
So I think it's size 18.
No, this has got to be bigger than.
I think it's 18.
It doesn't.
It's either 17. 19. Damn.
That's a size 19.
Put your shoe up to it.
Huh?
Put your shoe
My
up.
shoe could fit inside it.
It's the tissue paper that goes inside the shoe when you get it, when you first get them.
Here you go.
It could be the tissue paper.
There's two of his shoes.
There's my shoe.
Compared to Jaren.
Jackson Jr.'s shoe.
Yeah.
Yo, that's insane.
right.
That's insanity, bro.
You know, instead of they do growth chart giveaways for players, we need to do foot chart giveaways or
we
whatever.
don't.
Show the size of your foot. You can
So
compare it to
anyways,
Jaren's.
he's got turf toe, and he's going to have to get surgery. And, of course, I, like every other nincompoop in Memphis, starts Googling. And this is how I knew, because I was like, turf toe surgery recovery time. And I see, 3 to 6 months. And I was like, no.
Yeah, we can't be having, because we know how this goes. For us, that's 6 months.
No.
That's
Or
the 6
yeah.
months. Yeah, we know that's, yeah.
No. And then an angel in the form of my buddy Jeff Stotts from In Street Clothes arrived.
Yeah.
Jeff Stotts, who I've referenced many, many times on the show over the years. He ran the Twitter account in street clothes. Jeff is a former trainer who I always reach out to whenever it comes to the injuries. I reached out to him when it came to Desmond Bain and when they were going to get those special shoes for Desmond Bain. I've reached out to him when it came to Zach Edey, when Zach Edey had the toe thing or the foot thing earlier, or the ankle thing, earlier this summer. And so before I could even reach out to Jeff Stotts, he put up, here's the deal. Here's what this typically means. Here's the surgery that is conducted. And then Jeff, this is why he is so great at what he does, he has a full database where he can go back and look. So, like, when an injury pops up, he says, your return to play time is, so like a guy will have a grade 2 ankle sprain and he'll say typical return to play time is, and it's because he's got a database. He could look back at other players that had these injuries and then said, okay, here's how long it took post-surgery for them to be able to come back. And so, as I say, Jeff Stotts, with his little angel wings, flies down to tweet and puts up that he mentions Blake Griffin, he mentions Miles Turner, and he says return to play time has typically been 3 months based on his. And then today, to forward that, they said there's going to be a reevaluation at 12 weeks, which, do the quick math, that is 3 months. So that made me feel as good as I could have possibly felt after horrible news, horrible Google search. It was the equivalent of what we do on WebMD
when you're sick.
We know that, like, we have terminal diseases because we have looked up, here are my symptoms. Oh my God, I for sure have this terminal disease, right? That's what comes up when you search. It's the worst thing you can do. And I did the worst thing you could do, which is, hey, how long does it take? It's obviously not. Well, and the reason that it matters that Jeff is because there is a reference point. Here are professional athletes that have, the best surgeons, theoretically, and the best rehab for these, okay? These guys are not like normal humans. And so I need to know what has been the return to play time in other circumstances with similar guys. And this is where this comes into play. And so, of course, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, 3 months? Well, that's October 1st.
Yeah.
If it goes good, you don't even start the season until the end of October.
Exactly. Miss a couple preseason games.
Maybe, just maybe, this isn't going to be nearly as bad as it seemed on the surface. That's all I'll say.
I have some more maybe possible good news for
you.
Oh, you sucked the thing from Lion King.
Good news.
Another reference point. Remember when Jaren had that injury a couple years ago?
Yes.
His depot year?
Yes.
We were freaking out.
Yep.
About like, oh my God, he might miss blah, 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 these months. He came back that season, still played 63 games.
Yep.
And he won Defensive Player of the Year. So that's another reference point where,
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He has been able to return.
The timetable of that injury was supposed to be a lot longer than what it was supposed to be, and he came back sooner than expected. So that's another little small reference point we can use. The
other thing is, though, and this is the downside of that. All right, I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, you could be a realist. No reason for negative.
I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly. But this is one of the circumstances where if you've locked a guy into $245 million, the player in other years, the player would be more likely to make sure, hell or high water, I hit that 65. Mm-hmm. If you have just signed for $245 million, you could take it easy. Not easy, but I'm saying you are not, like, there's not the pressure that comes with, and again, look, if he's missing 17 games, we're going to be super disappointed anyway. Right. Yeah. Again, if we're going off of what we know that Jeff tweeted out and what they tweeted out this morning, which is 12 weeks.
Yeah.
12 weeks, they're going to do the reevaluation. And so all we can do is sit around with our fingers crossed and go, hey, we know they're on. We know they are on the side of caution with this, but they gave 12 weeks as a reevaluation for a reason. Jeff put that out there as a return to play in 3 months as a reason, and We have 4 until the season starts. You know what I'm saying? We don't have 3 months. We got 4 months.
4 months.
Until the season starts. Look, the Jaren Jackson news is obviously terrible, and it does lead to a lot of woe is me, what the hell is wrong? Why? How have we gone into the summer and we've already lost our starting front court?
Crazy.
How is that possible?
That's why
this doesn't happen to anybody else.
No, it doesn't.
That's why I was screaming, bro, yesterday. I kept saying it. I need another big man.
It doesn't help to anybody. This does not happen to other teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously, like, hang on. Let's
We got bad luck, bro.
It doesn't happen to other teams. It's not like Miami is, or I'm sorry, Denver's sitting around and going, oh, God, we're not going to have Jokic or Gordon for next season.
Okay, Cleveland, Darius Garland had it, but they knew he was going to have it after the season. They knew because that was a problem leading up to the playoffs.
Summer injuries.
No, that's what I'm looking at.
We always get
Boston,
something. It was Gigi last year. Remember Gigi last year got hurt?
No, Boston, the Knicks.
Nobody has their front court get hurt in the offseason.
The Pacers, like Halliburton, but we saw it happen in the finals, so we knew.
Do our guys play basketball in flip-flops during the summer?
Yeah.
They play like with no shoes on. The barefoot basketball.
How do we always get hurt during the? Are we gonna have to outlaw our players playing basketball?
No, for real. Bro, somebody on Twitter said
you're gonna have to have rest management during the summer.
Rest management. They said, bro, curveball and foursquare from now on. Somebody on Twitter said, no more basketball for the Grizzlies. Y'all can't hoop no more.
You guys can't play at all. You can't even play during the summer without getting hurt. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. So, anyways, Jaren Jackson Jr. And then, you were talking about getting another big guy. Look, I don't think this changes anything in terms of what you were going to do in the roster because, as I mentioned to you guys, we like the moves that have been done so far, but it's an unfinished product. It's again, we've got to look at this as you are heading into training camp, and there is still certainly work to be done because even if you counted on Jaren Jackson Jr., we've got a question mark next to Brandon Clark's name, and then you just have Jay Huff and Santi Aldama as the other guys, because Zach Edey's not a question mark. He's not going to be available at the beginning of the year. And so it's like, this is what you're walking into, and especially if you are going to be without Jaren for any amount of time.